Jeremiah 46. The word of Yahweh which came to Yirmiyahu the prophet concerning the nations. For Mitzrayim, concerning the army of Pharaoh Necho, sovereign of Mitzrayim, which was by the river Euphrates, in Carchemish, and which Nebuchadnezzar the sovereign of Babel had stricken in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, son of Yoshiahu, sovereign of Yehuda. Prepare the large and the small shield, and draw near to battle. Harness the horses and mount up, you horsemen. Stand with helmets, polish the spears, put on the armor. Why do I see them afraid, turned back, and their fighters are beaten down? And they have fled in haste and did not look back, for fear was all around, declares Yahweh. Do not let the swift flee away, nor the mighty man escape. They shall stumble and fall towards the north by the river Euphrates. Who is this rising like a flood, whose waters surge about like the rivers? Mitzrayim rises like a flood, and its waters surge about like the rivers. And he says, let me rise and cover the earth. Let me destroy the city and its inhabitants. Go up, O horses, and rage, O chariots, and let the mighty men go forth. Cush and Put, who handle the shield, and Lud, who handle and bend the bow. For this is the day of the Master Yahweh of hosts, a day of vengeance to avenge himself on his adversaries, and the sword shall devour and be satisfied, and made drunk with their blood. For the Master Yahweh of hosts has a slaughtering in the land of the north by the river Euphrates. Go up to Gilad, and take balm, O maiden, the daughter of Mitzrayim. In vain you have used many remedies. There is no healing for you. Nations have heard of your shame, and your cry has filled the land, for the mighty has stumbled against the mighty. They have both fallen together. The word which Yahweh spoke to Yirmiyahu the prophet about the coming of Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, to strike the land of Mitzrayim. Declare in Mitzrayim, and let it be heard in Migdol, and let it be heard in Noph and in Taphanes. Say, stand fast, and be prepared, for a sword shall devour all around you. Why were your strong ones swept away? They did not stand because Yahweh drove them away. He made many stumble. Indeed, they fell over each other and said, arise, let us go back to our own people and to the land of our birth, away from the oppressing sword. There they cried, Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, is but a noise. He has let the appointed time pass by. As I live, declares the sovereign, whose name is Yahweh of hosts, for as Tabor is among the mountains, and as Carmel by the sea, he shall come. O you daughter, dwelling in Mitzrayim, prepare yourself to go into exile, for Noph shall become a waste and a ruin, and be burned without inhabitant. Mitzrayim is like a very pretty heifer, but destruction comes. It comes from the north. Her hired ones, too, in her midst are like fattened calves. For they too shall turn, they shall flee away together. They shall not stand, for the day of their calamity has come upon them, the time of their punishment. Its sound moves along like a serpent, for they move on like an army and come against her with axes like woodcutters. They shall cut down her forest, declares Yahweh, for it is not searched, because they are more numerous than locusts and without number. The daughter of Mitzrayim shall be put to shame. She shall be given into the hand of the people of the north. Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, has said, see, I am bringing punishment on Ammon of No, and on Pharaoh, and on Mitzrayim, and on their mighty ones, and on their sovereigns, and on Pharaoh, and all those trusting in him. And I shall give them into the hand of those who seek their lives, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, and into the hand of his servants. And afterward it shall be inhabited as in the days of old, declares Yahweh. But as for you, do not fear, O my servant Jacob, and do not be discouraged, O Israel, for look, I am saving you from afar, and your descendants from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall have rest, and be at ease, with no one disturbing. Do not fear, O Jacob, my servant, declares Yahweh, for I am with you. Though I make a complete end of all the nations to which I have driven you, yet I do not make a complete end of you, but I shall reprove you in right ruling, and by no means leave you unpunished. 47. The word of Yahweh that came to Yirmiyahu the prophet concerning the Philistines before Pharaoh struck Azah. Thus said Yahweh, see, waters are rising out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and they shall overflow the land and all that is in it, the city and those who dwell within. And men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall wail at the noise of the stamping hooves of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, at the rumbling of his wheels. The fathers shall not look to their children because of weakness of hands. Excuse me. Because of the day that shall come to ravage all the Philistines, to cut off from Sor and Sidon every helper that survives, for Yahweh is ravaging the Philistines. The remnant of the Isle of Caphtor, baldness shall come upon Azah. Ashkelon shall be cut off with the remnant of their valley. Till when would you cut yourself? O you sword of Yahweh, how long till you rest? Put yourself up into your sheath, rest and be still. How shall it rest when Yahweh has given it a command against Ashkelon and against the seashore? There he has appointed it. 48. Concerning Moab, this is what Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, said. Woe to Nebo, for it is ravaged. Kiriathayim is put to shame, captured. The stronghold is put to shame and broken down. There is praise for Moab no longer. In Heshbon they have devised evil against her. Come and let us cut off it as a nation. O madmen, you are also cut off. A sword goes after you. Listen, an outcry from Horon Naim, ravaging and great destruction. Moab shall be destroyed, her little ones shall cry out. For on the ascent to Luhith, they go up weeping bitterly, for in the descent of Horonaim, the enemies shall hear a cry of destruction. Flee, deliver your own lives, and be like a bush in the wilderness. For because you have trusted in your works and your treasures, you shall be captured. And Chemosh shall go forth into exile, his priests and his heads together. And a ravager shall come into every city. Excuse me. No one escapes, and the valley shall perish, and the plain be destroyed, as Yahweh has spoken. Give wings to Moab, for she has to flee away, and her cities become a ruin, with no one to dwell in them. Cursed is he who is slack in doing the work of Yahweh, and cursed is he who withholds his sword from blood. Moab has been at ease from his youth, and he has settled on his dregs, and has not emptied from vessel to vessel, nor has he gone into exile. Therefore his flavor has stayed in him, and his fragrance is unchanged. Therefore see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I shall send him tillers, who shall till him over, and empty his vessels, and break the bottles. And Moab shall be ashamed because of Chemosh, as the house of Yisrael was ashamed of Bethel, their refuge. How do you say, we are mighty and strong men for battle? Moab is ravaged, and her cities have been entered, and her chosen young men have gone down to the slaughter, declares the sovereign, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hurries fast. Lament for him, all you who are around him, and all you who know his name. Say, how the strong scepter has been broken, the staff of splendor. Come down from your esteem and sit in thirst, O inhabitant, daughter of Dibon. For the ravager of Moab shall come against you. He shall destroy your strongholds. Stand by the way and watch, O inhabitant of Auror. Ask him who flees and her who escapes. Say, what has been done? Moab has been put to shame, for it has been broken down. Howl and cry. Let it be heard in Ammon, in Arnon, that Moab is ravaged. And judgment has come on the plain country, on Holon, and on Yahatzah, and on Mophaath, and on Dibon, and Nebo, and Beeth Diblathaim, and on Kirathaim, and on Beeth Gamul, and on Beeth Meon, and on Kieroth, and on Batsra, and on all the cities of the land of Moab, far or near. The horn of Moab has been cut off, and his arm has been broken, declares Yahweh. Make him drunk, because he has made himself great against Yahweh. Moab shall splash in his vomit, and he shall also be in mockery. And was not Israel a mockery to you? Was he found among thieves? For whenever you speak of him, you shake your head. O inhabitants of Moab, leave the cities and dwell in the rock, and be like the dove making a nest in the sides of the cave's mouth. We have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, of his loftiness and arrogance and pride, and of the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, declares Yahweh, and his boastings are untrue, and his deeds are false. Therefore I wail for Moab, and I cry out for all Moab. I mourn for the men of Kir Heres. O vine of Sibmah, I weep for you with the weeping of Yazer. Your branches have passed over the sea. They have come to the sea of Yazer. The ravager has fallen on your summer fruit and your grape harvest. Joy and gladness have been taken away from the orchard and from the land of Moab. And I have made wine to cease from the wine presses. No one treads with shouting, and the shouting is no shouting. From the outcry of Heshbon unto Elaleh, unto Yahatz, they shall raise their voice from Sor to Horonaim, like a 3-year-old heifer, for even the waters of Nimrim are dried up. And I shall make an end in Moab to him who offers in the high places and burns incense to his mighty ones, declares Yahweh. So my heart sounds for Moab like flutes, and my heart sounds for the men of Kir Heres like flutes. Therefore the wealth they made shall be gone, for every head is bald and every beard clipped, cuts on all the hands and sackcloth on the loins, on all the housetops of Moab, and in its streets it is all lamentation, for I have broken Moab like a vessel in which no one delights, declares Yahweh. How has she been broken down? They shall wail. How has Moab turned her back with shame? So Moab shall be a mockery and a horror to all those about her. For thus said Yahweh, see, he soars like an eagle, and shall spread his wings over Moab. Kerioth shall be captured, and all the strongholds seized. And the heart of the mighty men in Moab on that day shall be like the heart of a woman in labor. And Moab shall be destroyed as a people, because he has made himself great against Yahweh. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon you, O inhabitant of Moab, declares Yahweh. He who flees from the fear falls into the pit, and he who gets out of the pit is caught in the snare. For I am bringing upon Moab the year of their punishment, declares Yahweh. Those who fled stood powerless under the shadow of Heshbon, but a fire shall come out of Heshbon, and a flame from the midst of Sion, and consume the brow of Moab, and the crown of the head of the sons of uproar. Woe to you, O Moab! The people of Chemosh have perished, for your sons have been taken into exile, and your daughters into exile. But I shall turn back the captivity of Moab in the latter days, declares Yahweh. Thus far is the judgment of Moab. 49. Concerning the Ammonites, thus said Yahweh, has Israel no sons? Has he no heir? Why has Makam taken possession of Gad, and his people dwell in its cities? Therefore see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I shall sound a battle cry in Rabbah of the Ammonites, Excuse me. And it shall be a heap, a wasteland, and her villages shall be burned with fire. Then Yisrael shall dispossess those who dispossessed him, declares Yahweh. Howl, O Heshbon, for Ai is ravaged. Cry, daughters of Reba. Gird on sackcloth, lament, and diligently search by the walls for Malcham. For Malcham shall go into exile with his priests and his heads. Why do you boast in the valleys? Your flowing valley, O backsliding daughter who is trusting in her treasures, saying, who would come against me? See, I am bringing fear upon you from all those around you, declares the Master Yahweh of hosts. And you shall be driven out, each one straight ahead, with no one to bring home the wanderer. And after this I turn back the captivity of the children of Ammon, declares Yahweh. Concerning Edom, thus said Yahweh of hosts, is there no more wisdom in Teman? Has counsel been lost to those with understanding? Has their wisdom vanished? Flee, turn back, dwell in the depths, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I shall bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I shall punish him. If grape gatherers come to you, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? Even thieves by night would destroy only until they had enough. But as for me, I shall make Esau bare. I shall uncover his hiding places so that he is unable to conceal himself. His seed is ravaged, his brothers and his neighbors, and he is no more. Leave your fatherless children. Let me keep them alive, and let your widows trust in me. For thus said Yahweh, see, those whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have certainly drunk. And are you the one to go unpunished? You shall not go unpunished, but certainly drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, declares Yahweh, that Bozrah is to become a ruin, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all its cities become everlasting wastes. I have heard a report from Yahweh, and an envoy has been sent to the nations. Gather together, come against her, and rise up to battle. For look, I shall make you small among nations, despised among men. The dread for you, the pride of your heart, has deceived you. O you who dwell in the clefts of the rock, holding the height of the hill, though you make your nest as high as the eagle, from there I bring you down, declares the Master. And Edom shall be a ruin. Everyone who passes by it is astonished and whistles at all its plagues. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring cities, declares Yahweh, no one shall dwell there, nor would a son of man sojourn in it. See, he comes up like a lion from the Arden jungle against the home of the strong. But in an instant I shall make him run away from her. And who is the chosen one to appoint over her? For who is like me? And who summons me? And who is that shepherd who stands before me? Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, which he has counseled concerning Edom, and the purpose he has proposed concerning the inhabitants of Teman. The least of the flock shall drag them away. He shall make their pasture a waste before them. The earth shall be shaken at the noise of their fall. There is an outcry. Its noise is heard at the sea of reeds. See, like an eagle he flies up and spreads his wings over Bozrah, and the heart of the mighty men of Edom in that day shall be like the heart of a woman in her pain. Concerning Damasek, Hamath and Arpad have been put to shame, for they have heard an evil report. They have been melted in anxiety, like the sea unable to rest. Damasek has become feeble. She has turned to flee, and trembling has taken hold of her. Distress and pain have seized her like a woman in labor. How is the city of praise deserted, the city of my joy? Therefore, her young men fall in her streets, and all the men of battle are cut off in that day, declares Yahweh of hosts. And I shall kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus, and it shall consume the places of Ben-Hadad, to Kedar, and to the reigns of Hatzor, which Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, struck. Thus said Yahweh, arise, go up to Kedar, and ravage the men of the east. Their tents and their flocks, their curtains, and all their vessels shall be taken, and they shall take away their camels for themselves, and they shall cry out to them, fear is on every side. Flee, go away, dwell in the depths, O inhabitants of Hatzor, declares Yahweh, for Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, has taken counsel against you, and has devised a plan against you. Arise, go up to the nation at ease that dwells safely, declares Yahweh. It has no gates or bars, they dwell alone. And their camels shall become plunder, and their large herds booty, and I shall scatter them to all winds, those who cut off the corner, and bring their calamity from all its sides, declares Yahweh. Hatzor shall be a habitation for jackals, a desert forever. No one dwells there, nor does Son of Man sojourn in it. The word of Yahweh that came to Yirmiyahu the prophet concerning Elam in the beginning of the reign of Sidkiah, the sovereign of Yehudah, saying, Thus said Yahweh of hosts, excuse me, I need to sleep more. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, see, I am breaking the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. And I shall bring upon Elam the four winds from the four quarters of the heavens, and scatter them toward all those winds. And there shall be no nation where the outcasts of Elam do not go. And I shall break Elam before their enemies and before those who seek their life, and shall bring evil upon them. And my burning displeasure, declares Yahweh, and I shall send a sword after them until I have consumed them. And I shall set my throne in Elam, and destroy from there the sovereign and the heads, declares Yahweh. And it shall be in the latter days that I turn back the captivity of Elam, declares Yahweh. Chapter 50. The word that Yahweh spoke concerning Babel, concerning the land of the Kasdim, by Yirmiyahu the prophet. Declare among the nations, and let it be heard. And lift up a banner, let it be heard. And do not conceal it. Say, Babel shall be taken. Bel shall be put to shame. Merodach shall be broken. Her images shall be put to shame. Her idols shall be broken. For a nation shall come up against her from the north, which shall make her land waste, and none shall dwell in it. They shall flee. They shall go, both man and beast. In those days, and at that time, declares Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Yehudah together, weeping as they come, and seek Yahweh their Elohim. They shall ask the way to Zion, their faces toward it. Come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in an everlasting covenant, never to be forgotten. My people have been wandering sheep. Their shepherds have led them astray, turning them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All who found them have devoured them, and their adversaries have said, We are not guilty, because they have sinned against Yahweh. The house of righteousness and the expectation of their fathers, Yahweh. Flee from the midst of Babel. Come out of the land of the Kasdim, and be as rams before a flock. For look, I am stirring up and bringing up against Babel an assembly of great nations from a land of the north, and they shall array themselves against her. From there she shall be captured. Their arrows are like those of a mighty skilled man, not returning empty-handed. And Chaldea shall become plunder. All who plunder her shall satisfy themselves, declares Yahweh. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, you who plunder my inheritance, because you have grown fat like a heifer, threshing grain, and you neigh like stallions. Your mother shall be greatly ashamed. She who bore you shall be humiliated. Look, the last of the nations, a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahweh she shall not be inhabited, but she shall be deserted, all of it. Everyone passing by Babel shall be astonished and whistle at all her plagues. Set yourselves in array against Babel all around. All you who bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh. Excuse me. Shout against her all around. She has given her hand. Her foundations have fallen. Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance on her. As she has done, so do to her. Cut off the sower from Babel, and him who handles the sickle at harvest time, from before the sword of the oppressor, which each one turns to his own people, and each one flees to his own land. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the sovereign of Ashur devoured him, and now, at last, this Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, has broken his bones. Therefore, thus said Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, see, I am punishing the sovereign of Babel and his land, as I have punished the sovereign of Ashur, and I shall bring back Israel to this pasture, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his being shall be satisfied on Mount Ephraim and Gilad. In those days, and at that time, declares Yahweh, the crookedness of Israel shall be searched for, but there shall be none, and the sin of Yehudah, but none shall be found, for I shall pardon those whom I leave as a remnant. Go up against the land of Merathaim, against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Slay and put them under the ban, declares Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded you. There is a sound of battle in the land, and a great destruction. How the hammer of all the earth has been cut off and broken. How Babel has become a ruin among the nations. I have laid a snare for you, and you were captured, O Babel, and you yourself did not know. You have been found and also caught, because you strove against Yahweh. Yahweh has opened his armory and has brought out the weapons of his displeasure, for the Master Elohim of hosts has a work to do in the land of the Kasdim. Come against her from every quarter, open her storehouses, pile her up as heaps of ruins, and put her under the ban. Let her have no remnant. Slay all her bulls, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe to them, for their day has come, the time of their punishment. Listen, they flee and escape from the land of Babel to declare in Sion the vengeance of Yahweh, our Elohim, the vengeance of his Hekal. Summon archers against Babel, all you who bend the bow, encamp against it all around. Let no one escape. Repay her according to her work. Do to her according to all she has done, for she has been proud against Yahweh, against the set-apart one of Israel. Therefore, her young men shall fall in the streets, and all her men of battle shall perish in that day, declares Yahweh. See, I am against you, O proud one, declares the Master Yahweh of hosts. For your day has come, the time of your punishment, and the proud one shall stumble, and he shall fall with no one to raise him up. And I shall kindle a fire in his cities, and I shall devour all around him. I shall kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around him. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel were oppressed along with the children of Yehudah, and all who took them captive have held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall strongly plead their case. so as not to give rest to the land, but unrest to the inhabitants of Babel. A sword is upon the Kasdim, declares Yahweh, and it is upon the inhabitants of Babel, and upon her heads, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall be fools. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be broken down. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mixed peoples who are in her midst, and they shall become like women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be plunder. A sword is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is a land of carved images, and they boast about their idols. Therefore, the wild desert beasts shall dwell with the jackals, and the ostriches dwell in it, and it shall never again be inhabited, nor dwelt in, unto all generations. As Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring cities, declares Yahweh, so no one would dwell there, nor would Son of Man sojourn in it. See, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many sovereigns stirred up from the ends of the earth. They strengthened their bow and spear. They are cruel, and they show no compassion. They sound like the roaring sea, and ride on horses set in array, like a man for the battle against you, O daughter of Babel. The sovereign of Babel has heard the report about them, and his hands became weak. Distress has taken hold of him, pain like that of a woman in labor. See, he comes up like a lion from the yard and jungle, against the enduring pasture. But in an instant I shall make them run away from her. And who is the chosen one whom I appoint against her? For who is like me? Who summons me? And who is that shepherd who stands before me? Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, which he has counseled concerning Babel, and his purposes. He has purposed concerning the land of the Kasdim. The least of the flock shall drag them away. He shall make their pasture a waste before them. At the sound of Babel's capture, the earth shall be shaken, and the outcry shall be heard among the nations. Shalom.